1. Can we as millennials and Gen Zs collectively agree that nobody cares about elbows on the table? Like, why was that ever a problem for anyone? We can chill, right? 2. But chewing with your mouth open is still gross and bad. Keep that locked up. 5.0, 19, 4.6, 2280. I think this meme demonstrated the importance of sample size better and more efficiently than any science class I've ever taken. Guys, at my university I have a part-time job where my sole responsibility is filling up the piano humidification systems with water. I literally am a piano waterer, and TBH I kinda feel like I'm thriving. I feel like I need to add that I carry around this water jug that kinda looks like a regular watering can, and when people ask me what I'm doing I just say, watering the pianos, and walk away. I will not download TikTok. If a TikTok is funny enough it will breach containment and make its way onto another platform. It's quality control. So I asked my boyfriend to talk dirty to me in Bulgarian during Shrexy time. It was incredibly hot until I recognized the word tomato and asked him what he was saying. He then admitted that he was explaining how to make a salad. I'm convinced that some girls with ponytails move their heads a little more enthusiastically because they like how their ponytails swing around. We do. Siblingless writers. Hey sis, hey little bro, I'm right and I should say it. Wait, how are peoples with siblings greeting each other then? Hey, hey, greetings whore. Fortnite dances. Kids, when you choosing your college schedule, you'll hear a voice saying, just take the 8 AM class, it won't be that bad, you've done it for this long. That's the devil talking. An orchestra of 120 players takes 40 minutes to play Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. How long would it take for 60 players to play the symphony? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. 4,800 players, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony speedrun. It's not even music anymore, it's just a shockwave that kills you instantly. Hey, I've been really good about recycling and using reusable water bottles instead of disposable ones, so why is there still an oil fire in the middle of the ocean? You need to take shorter showers. I forgot about the showers, I'm so freaking sorry. It's literally considered inhumane to deny our worst criminals food and shelter, but you all wanna figure out if our homeless and impoverished population deserves it. Like, child molesters are getting 3 hots and a cot on your tax dollars and that's fine, but the starving single mother and her children down the street should just work harder because God forbid your taxes go to them. Woman in a Victorian novel develops a fever from worrying too much. Me, shivering and sweating with stress-induced anxiety. WTF, that's so unrealistic, lol. First ever DNA recovered from extinct miniature elephants of Sicily. Jurassic Park, but it's tiny elephants and nothing goes wrong. Same score but played entirely on kazoos. Instead of Chris Pratt, it's Jack Black. Maybe a stupid idea, but maybe it already exists. You start a game of D&D with a blank character sheet. Your DM has them all. You only discover stats and things as they become relevant. Like I rolled 7 on my constitution check. You get a +2 bonus, so that's a 9. Hurriedly marking it down. Or, I would like to ask the innkeeper if there is anything weird going on in the area. Dragonborn are rare in these parts, so she is suspicious at your approach. Wait, I'm a Dragonborn. It would be absolute chaos, but for one shot I feel like it would be fun. Maybe all the characters have amnesia and they have to figure out what they can do from scratch. I love working at Joan Fabrics. Today a guy asked me to show him the fake fur, and when I did he goes, "No, this won't do." And part of my job is giving advice for projects, so I asked him what he was using it for, and he looks down at the floor and quietly says, "I wanna make a Yeti costume to scare people with when we go skiing." Scooby-Doo villain. Druid, my name is Eric with a K. NPC, writes name down. And your last name? Druid, with a K. NPC, no, I got that. Eric, what's your last name? Druid, my last name is with a K. NPC, wait, is your name Eric? Druid, my last name is with a K. NPC, okay wait a minute, so to clarify. Druid, my last name is literally the phrase, air quotes, with a K. It's all one word. NPC, finishes writing. So review the document to make sure I got this right. Druid, looks, no I spell Eric with a C. Apparently the dude who started Netflix did so cause he got a $40 late fee from Blockbuster and was pissed. Pettiness is the greatest motivation in the world. In 1888 Almon Brown Stronger, an undertaker, noticed he was losing a lot of business to the other undertaker in his town. He found out that the other undertaker's wife was a telephone operator. When she intercepted people asking to be connected to Stronger's funeral home, the operator would route the call to her husband's funeral home instead. 3 years later, Stronger patented the automatic telephone exchange, a system which allowed telephone users to make calls without the need for human operators. He destroyed a whole workforce. Wisconsin snowstorm versus flooding in Ireland. Ireland isn't freaking around with the sealing capabilities of their doors. Will never forget when I worked in a fast food joint. Some customer wrote like 86 cherries on their mobile order as like a pretentious way of saying no cherries, but the store was run by a bunch of high schoolers who are working their first job, so they collectively went, why the frick does this guy want 86 freaking cherries, and like piled them onto his milkshake. My next $1 million idea, reluctant exercise videos with people who aren't perky, just 5 more. I know, I kind of want to die right now too, but let's just power through it. Okay, new yoga pose, it's going to ache like a bastard until your hamstrings release. I'm not gonna lie, stretch a little deeper, it's okay to yell frick at this point. I won't tell anyone, yes. According to your logic, it's okay to hope that the best team does not win because you personally dislike them for no reason. Okay, sure. Yes, this is literally how being a fan of any sport ever works. I had a dream last night that they made a new Bond movie, but they didn't say who was playing Bond. Throughout the movie you have no idea which character is really Bond, because he's undercover, duh, and every single character, no matter how minor, was played by somebody famous, so they could all conceivably be Bond, and at the end it turns out Bond was Leslie Jones. 10 out of 10 greatest spy movie of all time, take my money. My dad has 84 pairs of socks. Why did you count the amount of pairs of socks that your dad has? I didn't count. He did. Then he came downstairs and announced it to the entire family. Anyone else get embarrassed when their self-indulgent daydreams are like too self-indulgent? Like, oh geez, the telepaths are going to judge me. Also, when you're not Catholic you think it's telepaths lol. Sentences that explain like 70% of America. Your first instinct is to call someone who spells their name Greg. Greg with 2 G's, but it has 3. Little bit of Greg trivia for ya. I knew a Greg in high school who called himself Greg with 3 G's, and you can bet everyone was like Greg, all the time. All the time. I think Greg lived for the chaos and confusion. Why don't Jedis turn off their opponent's lightsabers by force pressing the button? I'm laughing so hard because instead of the epic lightsaber fight they'd just be aggressively switching them on and off. Could you imagine? TIL, that in 2013 a scientist injected human brain cells into a mouse brain, which improved the mouse's memory and capacity to learn. To stop it from conquering the planet they injected human brain cells from an incompetent weirdo into a separate mouse and then put the 2 mice in the same cage so the silly mouse will always frustrate the terrifying genius mouse's plans. I wonder what they're doing tonight. The same thing they do every night. Some customers, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I have to ask you a question. I feel so foolish for not knowing this already, please help me, but I'm so sorry, forgive me. Other customers, answer this question before I've even asked it or I'll kill you where you stand. Number 1 has worked in retail, number 2 hasn't. I don't think you get it. 1980 was 20 years ago. 1990 was 10 years ago. 2000 was 10 years ago. 2016 was 2 years ago. 2018 was also 2 years ago. 2017 was last year. 2014 was 4 years ago. Do you understand me now? The worst part about studying languages is knowing that you will never be nearly as good at it as a literal baby. The only reason babies are better at language learning is because it's their full-time job and they don't get embarrassed. If you, a teenaged or adult human, wasn't embarrassed and could study language full-time, you would learn way faster than a baby. In my defense, babies receive more positive reinforcement than I do as well. Babies will say ha baba da ha and all the adults around them will be like, really? Wow, that is so interesting. Great job. And then what happened? Also people who are like, I've been studying for a year and I only have an 8-year-old's grasp of the language. How long do you think it took the 8-year-old? Wasn't Azala being fatphobic when she called Dairo Uncle Fatso? You're right. Let me add fatphobe to the list of why Azala is problematic right underneath her multiple war crimes. I'm late to work cause I followed this dog for 3 blocks in the wrong direction. Sounds like a reasonable excuse to me. Modern day siren. Good dog garf. Love this garf. Wait, this art style is so soothing. I googled big hat to make a same hat / big mood joke and I was absolutely not disappointed with the result. It's in one piece. Once I was sick, so I got a prescription for codeine cough syrup, and when I went to pick it up the pharmacist was like, you really won't need all of this. And I was like, it's okay, I could just sell it at school. And he was like, yeah, future pharmacist, and fist bumped me. Okay, apparently this pharmacist is my brother's old pot dealer. His name is Scooter. Drama kid this and band kid that. Where's the love for us kids that did absolutely nothing in high school? Show them how quickly someone in the going home club can leave school. TIL, the reason why we view Neanderthals as hunched over and degenerate is that the first skeleton to be found was arthritic. Way to frick it up for your whole species, you freaking idiot. TIL, when people are electrocuted and thrown far distances, it is a result of sudden and violent muscle contraction and not the result of the shock. This has raised questions as to the actual strength and capabilities of the muscles in the human body. Are you telling me we are capable of eating ourselves when under extreme stress? You have just been abducted by a UFO. While you are figuring out what just happened to you, a frantic alien bursts into the room. You have no idea how many rules I'm breaking, but my human studies final is tomorrow and I need help. I'm the alien. I love student housing. I'm in the common room waiting for a friend and there's some dude crying on the couch with a bunch of his friends around him and I can only hear bits and pieces, but someone asked him, who gets the Minecraft server if you guys break up? And he started crying harder and a third person reached over to smack the guy who asked it on the back of the head. Still thinking of a TikTok I saw a year ago where a girl with a shellfish allergy got a crab tattooed on her thigh with one of the claws exactly where her EpiPen should be stabbed into her so she'd be able to wheeze out. Stab the crab if someone else needed to use her pen on her. Absolutely obsessed. The epitome of work smarter not harder. Don't confuse my hatred of the hyper wealthy for jealousy over what they have. I don't want a 6-figure sports car, or a 40-room mansion, or a golf leaf truffle wagyu steak dinner. I want redistribution of wealth that allows for infrastructural support of all citizens' basic survival needs. Disney World needs to make a roller coaster based off of the ride Isma and Kronk take to the lair. When the ride starts, Isma's voice yells, pull the lever Kronk, and the ride starts to move backwards so she yells, wrong lever, and it shoots you forward. Why is this not happening? This is a boss fight but I don't know which one the boss is. The Alien franchise, but all the characters are astrobiologists who are so freaking excited about discovering an extraterrestrial species that they don't even mind being hunted down and murdered. Rara Rasputin is objectively the funniest song ever written. It's like Rasputin was an advisor to the Romanovs and honestly he was a bit of a power-hungry con man. Oof. But you're not here for a history lesson. You want to know how much he fricked, don't you? Well, I'll tell you. He fricked He fricked off an ant severely, and it's a banger. Ships M/F couples but in an unmistakably bisexual way. I've seen this poster half a dozen times and every time it was replied to with a different picture of Jesse and James. I unironically adore weird teenagers who don't know exactly what the heck is going on yet. This kid came in for a job interview at the grocery store wearing very nice slacks and suspenders and a bow tie, with his little pink hair all done up, and I'm just like, oh, we gotta hire this kid. He kicks ass. Motherfucker's going to groceries prom and we couldn't stop him if we tried. He's my manager now. I only answer to grocery prom kid. Alexa release the serotonin, releasing neurotoxin. Alexa no. Portal. 2007. Toddler accidentally cursed himself into an identity crisis today. He's been crossing stuff out with chalk. He asked me to write his name for him, crossed it out, and had a panic meltdown because he thought it meant he didn't exist anymore. Every hour or so he asks me, am I his name, and wants reassuring hugs. I'm enjoying the implication that he was perfectly delighted with arbitrarily erasing things from existence until it affected him personally. The economy's biggest mystery. Paychecks just aren't growing. Oh boy, it's a freaking mystery. A spooky scary mystery. Better get freaking Sherlock Holmes on this one. It's a big freaking mystery, with no obvious answer. This is not a Sherlock Holmes mystery. This is a Scooby-Doo mystery, where the villain is an old white guy pulling a real estate/inheritance scam. I wanna know WTF was up with the dude from Ratatouille that this rat could just up and Jaeger pilot his ass by pulling on his hair. He's a bottom. So we are really going to expose Linguini just like that, huh? You take one look at the girl he ends up with and tell me she doesn't break out the strap on every night. Evil scientists all think they're hot crap for their human experimentation, or whatever, but look at those freaking sample sizes. N equals 6. Frick you. Get like 200 mice and achieve statistical significance, you cowards. Evil scientist 1. No. See, I did the power calculations. I can get significance with just 10 subjects. Evil scientist 2. Oh nice. I just kidnapped a whole town and used everyone there. Evil scientist 1. Evil scientist 1. What the frick? Evil scientist 3. Sewing two birds together. What the heck are statistics? A lot of people think it's not possible for poetry to be bad. These people are wrong. What are your thoughts on this? Whole pussy out, dirt in my mouth. Sing a little ditty when I stroll down south. Bone removal, without approval. I found your name and address on the Google. Actually every poem except this one is bad. I woke up at 6 this morning, wrote malware is like vampires on my notes page, then went back to sleep. At me. What the frick? Oh my god, because you have to invite it in. You have to click on the malware to let it take over your computer. So I was writing a small paper in Microsoft Word and the program suddenly crashed. I saved a couple minutes before, thank god, and I get this message in the corner of my screen 2 seconds afterward. Microsoft Word is now playing the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. What the frick? A whole new level of procrastination where your paper itself is procrastinating. My favorite thing about Pokemon XYZ is that there's an episode where a Serena's doing her contest thing and it cuts to her mom's Rhyhorn watching it on a laptop.
Howdy folks, I hope that you all enjoyed the first top post from r/Tumblr. This is the first time that I've done this. These are the best 50-60 posts from r/Tumblr. I know that there are a lot of duplicate images that you've already seen, but I just thought it'd be a nice little recap. So let me know in the comments if you all enjoyed this type of video. It's something that I can do at the end of the month for each month. Give you a highlight of the past month maybe. Let me know in the comments if you really enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like if you really enjoyed the video. I don't think I have anything else to say. I hope that you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you all later. Peace out, guys.